All right, what's going on, everybody? Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. We just got done watching the double eviction. It was a pretty crazy night. Can't wait to get into it all. We're down one tonight. Kyle definitely had better things to do
Oh,
because
much better things to do.
Kyle right now is hanging out with Azza and who knows who else in Philadelphia at the House Chops viewing party for tonight's double eviction. So it'll be me and Gina flying solo tonight. But we're still going to have a good time, even though we miss our
Ooh, are you frozen or am I frozen? Oh, no.
right into this. Okay, my name is John Dunphy Proudfoot, of course, standing my queen cachet. I'm joined, as always, by my festy bestie, Gina Morgino. I'm really hoping we're not having any technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the stream up on Instagram just to make sure if something freezes on my end and I can see if it's frozen on here.
Yeah, let me know. But okay, so we have things to talk about tonight. Am I forgetting anything first? Oh, well, follow us on the socials at StratChatPod, right? I haven't done this in a while. Kyle is normally our leader for Big Brother content, but because he's not here tonight, I'm taking his place. So I hope I don't let him down. But we have a lot to talk about. So this week, we only had 2 episodes this week, and they were both 2-hour long episodes, right? So they were both like chock full, and I don't know. There's actually a part of me that kind of likes having just 2 really action-packed episodes this week, as opposed to 3.
I'm not gonna lie.
As opposed to 3 episodes that feel like they're a lot of filler a lot of the time. Like I kind of liked this week. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, just throwing that out there.
I mean, I think it also is just a product of like at this stage of the game, we don't need 3 full nights. Like I think we can kind of like suffice with like. And granted, this did. There was a lot of drama to cover this week, but like I think once we get into the stage of the game, like we don't really need like at this point we mostly get so much filler anyway that like I feel like once you get past jury, like you don't need a full 3.
Yeah, that's true. And I also, before we like get into everything and before I forget, I want to ask you, like, they're billing this whole month, right, as this mastermind month of mayhem.
Yeah.
Even tonight, I know it's over now with the double eviction, but like we still had a 3-person, block where we had a BB blockbuster, and it just feels like at this point of the game, when we're down to our last 5, 6, 7 people, it feels way too late to me to be still having 3 nominees with a blockbuster on eviction night, and then this whole twist of this like mastermind month of mayhem. This feels like something that should happen in the first month of the season, not when there's only 5 people left, that we're going into this end stage of the game with only a couple weeks left, and like the mastermind still has such a big role here. Like I honestly am not a fan of this.
It's crazy too, because like we've talked before about how, because last season when they were doing the AI arena, it was a pre-jury twist, and I love it as a pre-jury thing, because once you get past jury, the numbers are too small for you to have 3, like you're nominating half the house at that point. It's too few people. And even like I saw a TikTok right before this episode aired of like a clip from the live feeds where like Ashley is lying in bed and production's yelling at her like, you're not allowed to nap, and she's fully like yelling at the cameras like, well, this is the game that you designed. We can't do any gaming because since Monday we've known what the nominees are, and until tonight we're not going to know who the real nominees are, so this is all we can really do. There's not enough people to talk game with, so I'm going to take a nap. And she was like getting nasty with production, but like they don't like it, we don't like it. And of course, this is the one and only time that we have ever seen a season of Big Brother come up with like a through line or a theme in the beginning and actually follow through all the way to the end. And it's bad. Like we always see them abandon whatever their theme is like a couple of weeks in. We just never hear about it again. We have somehow gotten the mastermind literally all season, but it's a bad twist. So like, why is this the one that they're hitching their wagon to,
No, yeah, it's honestly, I'm just more annoyed by it than anything, and I feel like the house guests seem to be too.
Yeah,
and this isn't what we should be talking about at this point of the game. Like, So I don't know. That's all just disappointing. It feels like really. I mean, so I can't. It feels longer ago, but last week, right? Technically, is when we lost Rachel and Will in the same week.
Yeah, that feels like weeks ago.
I know, right? It feels so long ago, but we lost Rachel and Will in the same week last week. 2 members of the judges, 2 out of 5 members, and it just felt like we had gotten ourselves to like a really nice point of the game where we were getting down to the jury phase. We had this cool alliance that people were ready to root for, and everything's just like the whole tone of the season has completely shifted for me. It feels like the season ended when the White Locust twist started to me. And like, regardless of whether you like Rachel or not, it just feels like all the momentum was completely sucked out, and that sucks. But I don't want to be too harsh because I did enjoy a lot of moments from this week and like the double eviction. Like I do think there was some interesting stuff. So I guess we should get into that. So I took some notes. I feel like I always take too many notes and none of them are important. But
yeah, everything feels crucial in the moment, and then at the episode's over, and it's like literally, what even was that?
I know. So let me do a good job here of taking Kyle's place tonight. We did have an outfit from Julie. We will be doing Julie Judgment later in the episode, and this is what Julie was what she was wearing tonight. So the QR code there, if you scan that with your phone, you can vote. Hot, not, or tepid. Yeah, get your votes in. If you're in the comments, you can do hashtag hot, hashtag not, hashtag tepid, but get your votes in because we want to know, and we always love judging Julie on her attire. So, yeah, here we are. Oh, Natalie is in the audience tonight. Natalie says, Vince sucks. And how did you let Morgan blow up your game?
Oh, trust me, there's plenty of Vince to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait.
He's going to be the star of our show, I'm sure.
And if we're talking about people blowing up Vince's game, I don't know if anybody blew up his game more than Kelly tonight. But
the one on her way out Kelly's the door. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, we had Will had gotten evicted at the end of last week. Ava's really bummed. Ava and Lauren seems like they might start like working together a little bit, even though I feel like Lauren has always thought of Ava as a number on her side, but Ava clearly did not. I think the biggest thing in the house this week, because we did have ZINGBOT show up, but before that we had a whole segment of the house guests sort of commenting and just noticing the Vince Morgan cheat mance, whatever you want to call it. Like any thoughts on all this stuff and Keanu's mention of cheat? I thought we were playing Big Brother, not Cheating Island.
I mean, I have so many thoughts, but first and foremost, I am just so happy that this whole mess is finally getting some airtime, because the editors have been doing a disservice to us, but a very large service to Vince by editing him in a way that is not really accurately showing what an absolute menace to society this man is inside the house. And like, I don't know if you ever like tune into like Taryn's live feed updates or whatever, but it's so funny because you see like people who are kind of more casual viewers watch those updates, and Taryn has this like impression that he does when he reenacts Vince in the house, and people watch it and they're like, dude, Taryn's exaggerating so much. I am here to tell you he's not. Like, Vince is constantly whining and complaining and acting like just a child at literally, oh my god, he's a disaster. But like, we have seen so much of this like flirt man's, cheat man's, whatever you want to call it, between the two of them, and like, I get insulted on behalf of Kelsey watching Vince get into the diary room being like, Kelsey, I love you. I miss you. I'll see you when I get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Like, we all see it. We know that you're like being shady.
I know.
The fact that this finally got so much screen time, I'm like, thank God the casual audience is seeing what's going on in here.
Right. No, I totally agree. Like, Morgan, she was my number 1 draft pick. I'm still obviously rooting hard for her. I want her to win. She's the only person I have left in the game.
Sure.
But some of this stuff was just so ridiculous. Like her trying to say like, oh, I always try to be respectful. And like, it was never like a romantic thing. It's just a friend thing. And it's like, there was a point where her, Vince, and Keanu were even having a conversation. And she was like, oh, like I'm just doing things for my number 1. Like we just hug, and like it's not like I'm trying to hold his hand or rub his back. And Keanu was like, but you do rub his back.
I'm trying to be so respectful of his relationship. We're only platonic, even though we're sleeping in the same bed every night and cuddling at all times.
Right.
Especially like, it's so crazy to me because like we saw all week that that Morgan has this crazy jealousy about Vince's relationship to Lauren. And it's like, if you're feeling that way about somebody that he is very clearly not interested in as his quote unquote platonic friend, how do you think his girlfriend is feeling watching you on live feeds cuddling up to her man? Like, that's fucking crazy.
Right. And I know that we've like brought it up before. I know people have talked about it on social media, but this whole thing that like apparently Vince had permission from his girlfriend to like do whatever he has to do to win the game, but this cannot be it. Like this cannot be.
I don't know that we've heard anything from her in a while, but like week like 3 or 4 or whatever, she and a lot of her friends and a lot of his friends were like very vocal on social media about like, hey, I definitely never was cool with any of this. Like, this is not something that we have discussed beforehand. Like, this is fucked up. Like, to the point where, based on what people have been saying, he is not coming out of the house to a girlfriend.
And you know what? Good for Kelsey, because nobody deserves to have to watch this on national television. But it's your boyfriend. Like,
yeah, it's fucked. But like my one qualm with what was happening this week is like, yes, Morgan knows that he has a girlfriend. Morgan is cozying up to him. That is fucked up. Like, she should not be doing that. Like, that is a boundary. Like, she should be a little bit more of a girl's girl and be like, hey, this guy has a girlfriend. Let me back off. However, Morgan is not the person that has a responsibility to be loyal to Kelsey. Vince does. So the fact that Morgan was the one that got hit with ZINGBOT and kind of got the brunt of this does bother me because he is the one who deserves the public shaming more so than Morgan does.
That is
he's the one that should be getting
fair.
raked across the coals here.
Yeah, that is totally fair. You're not. I can't disagree with that whatsoever because it's true. Like Morgan does not. She's not the one hurting a potential, relationship at home.
And she's not innocent here, but like you can't wreck a home if the person living in it is willing to let it be wrecked. Right.
And it really does just kind of and like. Because in the moment, watching it in the episode when that zing was happening, I was like, oh, that's so cringy. Like, Morgan's totally been fucking up. But it's like, but when you think about it, like the fact that like Vince got let off easy by like just kind of being called a crybaby while he is the one that's actually in the relationship. And Morgan had to be the one to feel like embarrassed by this whole situation.
Right. And then
that really is pretty fucked up.
You even get that conversation after the fact where I think it was Vince and Keanu was like, I see her like trying to make moves on you and trying to cuddle with you and trying to like, but yes, she is doing those things, but why is she the one getting the blame for it? Like he is the one that should be like respectful enough to be like, yo, back off, I have a girlfriend.
No, you're right. You are 100% right. No, I totally agree. But do you want to get into some of these zings?
Sure.
I feel like sometimes they're kind of lame, some of them, but I feel like this year this got some
a solid ZINGBOT year.
It was pretty brutal, right? Lauren got the first one as the baby of the house with the nursery rhyme. She's draining, she's boring. We're all sick of Lauren.
I'm so sorry, baby. You are boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is boring.
I'm so sorry. You're so sweet, but you don't contribute anything.
Yeah. Kelly ZINGBOT basically said just he was the creepiest thing in the house and that she made everyone uncomfortable. I thought that was pretty accurate. Vince gets called a 34-year-old crybaby who is unemployed and lives with his parents. Accurate again, but again should definitely have been some mention should have been in there of being like, oh, and also totally not loyal to his girlfriend.
Yeah, Vince should have left that feeling worse.
Yeah. Ava was told she dresses like a hobo. Keanu, this one I actually liked because we had a Lord of the Rings reference in here.
I was laughing so hard at this one because I was like, no one in the house has any idea what most of these words mean.
Right. He has the feet of a troll, the snore of an ogre, and the stench of an orc. And apparently he also pees all over the floor.
That was pretty out of pocket. I was like, ZINGBOT, that's tough. On live TV, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because even he was like, that wasn't me, though.
Yeah, that's right. And And Ashley also got another song, which was this Rachel had a little friend,
Yo,
little
that
friend,
song
little
went
friend.
on for. I was like, how many verses did we
Yeah,
write?
her name escapes me now. That was funny.
Literally like 4 verses long. I was like,
Yeah,
ZINGBOT, we get it.
and she's not very memorable except for her showers. Um, and then okay, the Morgan one comes. That was the last one. They saved
Yeah.
the best or the worst for last, depending on what do you call someone who lights up when Vince enters a room, gives him long, passionate hugs and warm, affectionate cuddles? His girlfriend. Oh my god!
It's so tough.
And
It's like
Morgan's response here,
literally
just going,
everything about this. made me
pizza
wanna
time.
pick it up. Yeah, she is like slicing that pizza with more aggression than I have ever seen it in my life. Everyone is silent, and
Yeah.
literally even ZINGBOT is like, "Well, I guess I'll let myself out," because literally everything just
Yeah.
stopped dead in its tracks. I was like, "This is so uncomfortable."
Yeah, this was really this. I feel like this was one of the most uncomfortable ZINGBOT segments I can
It was
remember.
really tough. Because I don't know that I've ever seen one where like people get genuinely offended in the moment. Like usually like everyone can pretty much laugh it off, even if later on they're like, that was kind of mean. But like I don't know that I've ever seen a moment like this where like everything just dead stops and people are like, all right, well I'm just gonna fucking go then. Like
Right,
oh.
right. Would it have made a difference, you think, if they did the Morgan one like in the beginning or in the middle, so that there were at least some other zings after that to maybe?
No, I think there was no way out of this other than ending with it. The production knew, all right, this is gonna drag the air out of the room.
Yeah, it's gonna cause some waves. But all right, yeah, that was ZINGBOT. But he wasn't done technically for this episode because we found out that apparently once he left this house, ZINGBOT died. Apparently,
I wonder who murdered ZINGBOT, and I went, well, Morgan probably.
Yeah, seems pretty extreme. Like, are we gonna get like because ZINGBOT can't just be dead now for good? Like, are we gonna get like a resurrection story here?
This was another one. Like, we got this whole like documentary, and I was like, "This is 15 minutes long. Like, why am I still watching this video?"
Yeah, our HOH comp was The Last Zing, the true story of ZINGBOT's demise. And in this competition, the players were asked 7 questions that were based on a video documentary about ZINGBOT's untimely death. In the event of a tiebreaker would be used to decide the winner. And basically, we find out that the mastermind killed ZINGBOT with some kind of laser weapon. Vince and Kelly ended up tied with 5 points each after 7 questions. And Vince wins the tiebreaker and then goes on to win HOH, of course. Kelly, very upset by this.
Oh, yeah.
But Vince, his third HOH. I feel like Vince always wins. Like, it's impressive, obviously. It's good to have some wins on your resume, but I feel like he always wins, and it's like the worst possible thing to happen to his game.
Because
every time.
He's an idiot. Like, he aligns himself with everybody and then immediately turns on that. Like, he just doesn't know how to keep an ally.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It's amazing. I mean, unless you are... Well, now you can't even include Lauren in this, right? At this point, unless you're Keanu and Morgan, like, Vince has been the worst thing for your game. I mean, even Keanu you could put in that, because how many of Keanu's allies have gone out? I mean, Morgan's really the only person that Vince has worked with who hasn't had her game like totally shattered, I feel like.
And like Vince's other problem is like, people, myself included, make jokes about how like Lauren doesn't really have any convictions in the game, and like she's like, oh, I'll just do like whatever everybody else tells me to. But like Vince is almost worse, because Vince acts like he's this phenomenal gamer. I had this great game, all these alliances, blah blah blah. But whenever he's in power, whoever is the last person to talk to him, that's what he's gonna do. He also has no idea what's going on, what strategy he wants to implement, who he actually wants to come for. It's whoever speaks to him last. He's like, yeah, I think that is the right decision. You're right. It's like,
yeah.
Why are you going to win if you don't know what you're going to do with it?
Right. And I could not, I was so tired. And we'll get into it more as we move through, the stream here. But like all the times that Vince was blaming other people for decisions that he ultimately made, right? Like, telling Morgan at one point, "Oh, you forced me to do this." It's like you were the HOH. You were still the one that had to make the decision.
Yeah.
I was just telling you, as your supposed number one, what I thought you should do. And you know what? Maybe I'm being a little forceful, but like that's because I'm trying to get my point across. You still have to make the decision here. So for
Right,
Vince,
but
at
also,
any
like,
point,
literally anybody is going to do that. Like, okay, you're the HOH. I'm going to pitch what I need to happen for my game. Ultimately, it is your decision, but like, I'm going to pitch whatever I can to make sure that I don't end up screwed at the end of the week, because it's a game and that's how the game works. You still get to do whatever you want. And just because I'm begging you to do something doesn't mean you have to.
right?
And like, if you do choose to, that's good for me, and that means that I am good at manipulating you into doing what I want, which is also the game. Like,
right. And I was really glad. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself now, but I was really glad that at one point, I think it was after Vince put Lauren up as a renom, right?
Mhm.
Because Vince has been trying to blame Morgan. You forced me to do this. You forced me to do it. And then at one point, Lauren and Vince were talking, and Vince was saying, like, "Oh, like Morgan's taking over my HOH, and she forced me to do this." And Lauren even said, like, "Nobody forced you to do this.
yeah.
Like you made the choice." And I'm glad that that Lauren acknowledged that.
Right, because he easily could have put Ashley up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so Vince ended up winning the HOH, like we said. There was obviously some campaigning by Keanu and Morgan to get Lauren to go up. Ultimately, Lauren was not an initial nom. Vince put up Ava, Kelly, and Keanu. What did you think of, by the way, this nomination ceremony? Vince put up Ava, said she was a pawn, and Ava pulled a pawn chess piece out of her sleeve and had a little bit of a meltdown, and said that the house was going to shake after she won the veto.
I actually have a lot to say about this because, like, it feels like there's a number of things happening. One, I feel like from day one, everybody on this season, we very clearly, nobody on this season knows what Big Brother is. No one has an ounce of strategy in their entire body.
Even the super fans don't know what the game is.
It feels like everybody who came to this house came here to get their viral moment. We saw Jimmy doing it from the second he entered the house. We saw Ashley doing it with her blowing up on Keanu. We see it happening so much. And with Ava, it feels like, one, Rachel left and made that big speech of like, you have to earn it. Like, if you want to be iconic, you have to be iconic. So now it feels like Ava's being like, all right, well, I guess I have to now be iconic and like have all these like great moments. But also, again, like the edit is doing a disservice to what's happening in there, because on feeds, Ava, since Rachel left the house, has also been a menace to society. But we also hear her a lot on feeds talking about like, I know I'm America's favorite player. Like, that's what, like, I know I'm going to win it. Like, America loves me. I'm going to win AFP. And we saw so much this week that she is now like turning it into overdrive. Like, she was like flipping off ZINGBOT and like cursing him out when he like, you know, made that joke at her or whatever. Now all of a sudden she's like blowing up the ceremony, and she has like the pawn in her pocket with this whole like scripted like read at Vince
Right.
of like, yeah, you can't come for me because blah 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 blah. And it's like, what is this for? Why are we doing all of this like performative blowing up of people? Like, it's so annoying because it all feels like they've looked at themselves in the mirror for 2 hours being like, and then I can say this, and then I can say this. Oh, that'll be a good clip. That'll be a good clip. Like, it doesn't feel like any of them mean anything they're saying. They're just trying to be viral.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah. Oh man. But yes, we ended up getting. Also, I have to tell you, it's funny to hear Morgan, constantly referring to herself as Vince's number one, and then Vince also being like, "Oh, but Lauren's my final two," and it's like,
yep. Oh no! There's freezing happening, and I don't know if it's you, I don't know if it's me. Oh, are you back? You're back. Okay.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if it's me or you.
I'm assuming about Ava.
Yes.
Yeah, says she wants to be AFP so bad. Ava, yeah, she's trying real hard for sure. And I know there was some talk about that too, right? After Rachel ended up going out, and Ava being like, "Oh, I probably just lost America's favorite or whatever because of this." I saw some of that on social media.
I've just seen her like walking around the house for weeks being like, I'm gonna win. Like, I know America loves me. I'm winning AFP. And like, she just like knows it in her bones. But like, because she knows it, like, she is now behaving like she has it on lock, which is making people fall out of favor with her. So like she's kind of like losing it for herself by being so cocky about the fact that she knows that she has it, you know?
Right. I actually saw some people after Kelly left tonight being like, "Oh, Kelly during like being in the house, I didn't like, but Kelly during that eviction interview, I did like."
Dude, the audience was loving her.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wonder because I know people love Rachel, but I know there's also a lot of casuals that don't, right? Especially casuals. And I'm wondering if like this is going to now be like maybe Kelly could end up winning this thing just because I would be so annoyed.
Mind.
Yeah, I would be so annoyed. I would not support that. But there's a world where I could see something like that happening.
Dude, I would hate that so much. Also, like, again, not to jump the gun, but like since you brought it up, why is this girl so obsessed with Rachel? Literally, like her entire exit interview, she was like, "I'm like really annoying," and Julie was like, "Oh, are you gonna go into the jury house and be annoying?" And she was like, "Rachel's gonna get really sick of me really fast."
Oh my god, yeah. I'm like, you're not playing the game anymore. Like, you can go back to real life now. Like, oh my god,
Kelly,
I'm sure. Yeah, no, I'm sure she'll be bringing dead bugs into the jury house too.
Yeah.
That weirdo. Like, you're supposed to bring live bugs out of your house, not bring dead bugs into your house. Like,
God, everyone this season is insane.
Yeah. We had our veto players, Vince, Ava, Kelly, and Keanu, obviously, as the HOH and the nominees. And then Keanu, his chip was drawn, so he chose Morgan to play. And then Lauren was also chosen by random draw. In the bathroom, what did you think of the conversation that Keanu had with Ashley, right? Where they were talking about, if somebody comes down, Vince said he's going to put Lauren up. And then we found out that Ava was in the bathroom the whole time and heard.
This is like the third time that people have openly talked about the plan when Ava's in the room and nobody notices. Like,
right.
Why is nobody checking to make sure they're alone?
Yeah, I don't know. But of course, Ava goes right to Lauren and tells her.
Of course she does.
And then, of course, Lauren goes to Vince to talk to him. And so, yeah, it set up, a very interesting veto comp to me. Because I think the fact that Lauren and Morgan were both picked to play and involved in this, like, it wouldn't have been as interesting if Ashley, I think, was involved.
Sure.
So, like, all the players involved were fun. And this was the BB CSI veto comp. A familiar game where each player is on sort of like a balance beam, but it's like a teeter-totter seesaw sort of balance beam where you have to be very careful about how hard each end falls down because you have these like rubber balls that you have to put at the end. And this one, it was a magnifying glass. So the part that they were putting these balls in was like a lens. And basically, the first person to get 25 pieces of evidence into the end of their lens would be the winner. It went back and forth. It ended up being Morgan and Lauren in the end who were the closest, but Morgan ends up winning. And this was her third veto win in a row, I think.
In a row? Definitely 2 in a row. I don't remember when the first one happened.
Yeah, I don't remember. I could be totally wrong. I know it's her third one. I don't know if it's in a row because
BB Comics was this past week, so it's definitely 2 in a row. I just can't remember when her first one was.
Right. I just remember her and Keanu talking about the whole 3-peat thing. So she's definitely won 3. I just don't know if it's in a row, but good on Morgan because I was even as my own number 1 draft pick, I was incredibly hard on Morgan all season for not winning anything, coming in as this gamer and D1 athlete, but she has been showing up lately.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. And so it was after this that we had sort of like a marathon montage of Morgan and Vince talking together in the HOH room with Morgan trying to convince Vince to put Lauren up as the replacement. And it paid off because Morgan takes Ava down and Vince does indeed put Lauren up. There was a part of me, I mean, I guess in the end, it didn't really matter because Lauren ends up winning the BB Blockbuster, like we'll get to. But there was a part of me that wondered if, like, should you have taken Keanu down? Because then if Lauren goes up in Keanu's place, I feel like you're much more likely to have the votes, right? If Morgan, Ashley, and Keanu all vote Lauren out, but once you take Ava down, but I guess I understand why you would want to take Ava down because Keanu's such a big threat, but I don't know. Any thoughts on this whole veto ceremony?
The veto ceremony, not so much. Once we get into past the blockbuster, I have a lot of thoughts. But it definitely, it does make perfectly logical sense to try to keep Keanu on the block as long as possible.
Yeah.
We will get there when we get there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so let's get right into it then. So this takes us into our double eviction episode. And I mean, there's not, some of these notes really are not important anymore. Lauren's obviously upset that Vince put her up. Vince says he was forced. We talked about that already. Even Lauren said he wasn't forced and he could have put up Ashley. Morgan then comes into the HOH room as they're having this conversation. And Vince actually mentions to both of them that this group of three in the room is his ideal final three, which Morgan is not about. She says this is only good for Vince's game. So she is not cool with that at all. Still has her sights set on Lauren.
And again, I cannot stress enough for the casual viewers, if you are exhausted from these 2 episodes of Vince and Morgan, imagine how it feels for it to have been literally nonstop the entire week. Like, these 2 will be up until like 3 o'clock in the morning every day doing this all day, every day. They're so exhausting. I'm so tired.
Yeah. And it's just, I feel like there's a total lack of self-awareness from both of them, because
Absolutely.
While at the end of the day, while we both agreed that like Vince is the one that's in a relationship and should be the one that's ending this, I also feel like it's a little, and I'm not trying to put blame on her, but on Morgan.
No, she definitely deserves some blame.
Right. But I'm not trying to like put too much blame on her, because I feel like at the end of the day, are you really that surprised when you're literally like pretty much sleeping in the same bed as this man every night and then waking up and having like the longest hug in recorded history in front of the rest of the house? Like, of course people think this.
And again, like, what's so crazy is, like, you know, because of the way that it was edited, it seems like all of these conversations about like Cheating Island and like this whole like Keanu conversation and ZINGBOT all happened in the same day. But like, these conversations have been happening over the course of weeks. And they've been asked about, like, Vince at the very least has been asked about it in the diary room, because we've seen other segments in other weeks of like, we're just really close friends, you know, I don't really see her that way, there's nothing going on. If you know that this is the perception because A, you're being asked about it in the diary room, and B, people in the house keep talking to you about it, you would think you would stop acting that way. But it's only like gotten more so since this ended. Like, they're like hanging out in the bathroom together, or one of them is showering. There was one time that like both of them were showering in the downstairs bathroom at the same time, and oops, they both forgot to bring their towels and their change of clothes into the bathroom. What I wonder what's gonna happen now. We both have to be naked. Oops. And it's like, guys, come on. Like, what?
Right. I also just have to, I don't know if you've heard all the little pings coming into my phone.
Is it Kyle?
It is Kyle, because I had asked him if he wanted to share his thoughts on Julie Judgment for her attire tonight, which he did. So I can share that. But you should look at, I don't want to put him on blast, but you should look at the messages, because he seems to be having the night of his life.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. I cannot wait to talk to Kyle tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. So Kyle's having a good time with Asa. All right. Where were we? We were talking about, so this was funny to me. Like, so Lauren and Ava actually end up talking about Vinny and how he's such a snake now that Lauren's been put up as a renom. Keanu and Morgan are talking about getting Lauren out of the game, even though Morgan promised Vinny that she wouldn't. Ashley then talks to Kelly about keeping her and voting Lauren out instead. You know, Kelly was giving Ashley a whole pitch that seemed pretty good. And then we get into like the Morgan Vince, maybe the most dramatic, tense moment between them all week, with this blow up they had, because Morgan remembers a comment that Vince had made prior to the veto ceremony, saying that you know, it was very important to him that Lauren was not in danger and would stay in the game, and that this was, in quotes, bigger than the game, which Morgan then took to mean if Lauren somehow ends up going home here, that means that Vince will never want to be my friend outside the house once the game ends, which turned into a whole thing. Yeah.
It's also the fact that, like, she said in the diary room, I don't remember exactly the words he used, but it was something about it being bigger than the game. And then we see in every retelling that she does of this conversation, it's, you know, Vince straight up told me he won't be friends with me after this. And it's like, you, girl, no, he did not. You decided that's what that meant. Like,
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, listen, I love Morgan. She was my number one pick. She's my only player remaining.
Vince is my only player
But
remaining.
yeah, but Morgan is messy. She
Yeah.
is very messy. Like, thank
Yeah.
God she's been winning these comps lately, because she would not still be there if she wasn't winning them. Even though it seems like so many people feel like she's in a great spot in the game, and we've seen how many people talk about how whatever Morgan wants, Morgan gets. But like,
I mean, not wrong, but
not technically not wrong. But I feel like there's been a couple of times where I thought she was leaving. So
yeah,
you know,
it is surprising to me that she's in as good a spot as she is.
yeah, yeah. And so Morgan and Vince's argument continues. It gets very loud. Vince says that she's been, controlling his game and took over his HOH, and that his game was hurt by her decision, but that Morgan pushed him into it, just forced him to do it, as he cries his fake tears all the way through.
That is the Vince playbook: is cry and blame it on everybody else. I've never done anything wrong in my life. The crazy girls made me. Oh no!
Right.
It's exactly the conversation that will be happening as soon as the season's over. I can guarantee it.
Right. Right. And
are we frozen again?
So poison the jury for Morgan.
It's such a toss-up with this jury, honestly. Like, I think a lot of it depends on how the next couple of evictions shake out.
Yeah. I wonder how much Kelly can really poison the jury, because I feel like Rachel and Vince were the first two members, right? And now you have Kelly coming in. Sorry, Rachel and Will. That's what I wish,
sorry. Vince, please.
I misspoke. Yeah, I misspoke. But I feel like there's nobody for Kelly to poison right now. Like, she's not going to be able to poison Rachel or Will, and then whoever follows Kelly in there. Oh well, we know who follows Kelly in there, but like, I don't know. I don't see.
I also,
at least at this moment,
in general, like even from the entire season, Kelly doesn't really have a lot of influence with this group. So I don't know that anything that she says would really hold a lot of weight in jury, considering it never really held a lot of weight in the house.
That's true. I don't know. I feel like I don't really love. I know it's obviously it's happened. It's happened before, but I'm not a fan of the 7-person jury, to be honest. I prefer a 9-person jury.
Well, I think that only started this in 26.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan, especially when we're getting the blockbuster into the 7-person jury. Like,
the blockbuster post jury is stupid. That should never happen again. But
I feel like if you're gonna have the blockbuster and 3-person nominations every week, it should only be a 9-person jury, and that twist should stop as soon as you get to jury.
After 5, yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, the fact that, yeah.
Please come back, please.
Please.
Oh, now I'm all alone. Whatever do I do now?
Wait, I'm here. You're not here?
Okay, thank God. Your screen went dark for a second, and I was like, am I
back?
Now
okay, I don't know
myself?
I actually don't know what happened, because you were here for me the whole time. I never had any freezing, but then all of a sudden the screen just said syncing, and I went, "There's big trouble here." But we're back.
You like froze for a minute, and then your screen went dark, and I was like, "What do I do?" Like,
I can't wait to
stream.
I can't wait to watch this back to see like what was happening. But I had brought up floppy disk channels thing over here saying, if Kelly knows she's annoying as fuck, why doesn't she correct it?
I was shocked that she had that much self-awareness. I was like, girl, so you're being irritating? Cut it out. Like, we're not having fun either. No, he's frozen again. Oh, okay, you're back.
What's that? I really can't tell who's having the issues and who's not, because you have not frozen for me once tonight.
This is really stressing me out.
All right, so Maybe the most interesting thing about Morgan and Vince's fight was the fact that Lauren and Kelly overheard it as they were playing chess right outside the HOH
Oh
room.
my God, yeah.
Which, of course, they're going to go and investigate. So Lauren goes in and asks him about this whole thing. And, Vince just kind of tells her, like, you're not leaving on my HOH. There was some awkwardness between Morgan and Kelly and everything as well. Kelly coming in, being like, you can't just leave Lauren hanging or whatever. And it's like, all right, well, Morgan's still in the room.
She was, what was it that you can't leave the lady waiting.
Right,
like,
right.
Yikes.
It looks like, by the way, the people are telling us that you're fine and the issues are on my end.
Okay, so you're all panicking with me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, hopefully I stay okay now. But, okay. I just loved that for some reason Love Island, by the way, just kept being brought up in this episode this week because there was Cheating Island and there was Best Friend Island that Ashley brought up when her and Morgan were talking about the fight that Morgan had with Vince. But yeah, okay, so let's get into the blockbuster. So this was each player had to collect orbs for the mastermind, and whoever got the 4 orbs first, right, into their tube would be the winner. And Lauren killed this. Absolutely dominated this.
Before the competition started, I was like, Lauren winning would be the funniest possible outcome. Like, just like after all of this back and forth, like for Lauren to not even be an option would be the funniest way this could go. And as she kept getting more in, I was like, please, I need this to all have been for nothing.
Yeah. And it was funny because by Lauren winning, the 2 perennial, pawns or block people on the block that we always had were Kelly and Keanu, and they are finally on the block together after a blockbuster. And it came down to a tie. It was Ava voted for Keanu to be evicted, right? Morgan voted for Kelly to be evicted. Lauren voted Keanu to be evicted. Ashley voted Kelly, and then Vince broke the tie by evicting Kelly. And finally, Kelly goes home.
And this is where I have a big problem.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
was going to say she blew up all of Vince's final 2s, final 3s, final 4s. And she says Vince will just do whatever Morgan wants for the rest of the game. And now I'm dying to hear your thoughts.
In what universe have we seen the amount of times that people have tried to get Keanu out of this house, and then we finally get him on the block during a vote? He's won every freaking blockbuster, veto, whatever. He has saved himself all season long. We finally have the opportunity to get rid of him. And they say, you know who's a bigger threat? Kelly. What the hell are you talking about? You're never going to have this opportunity again. This man is going to win out. Why wouldn't you take that chance?
Yeah. I mean, I know why Morgan didn't do it, and like whether it makes sense or not, she feels like once Keanu's gone, she's the biggest threat. But you're also down to like very low numbers here, so it's like you should
let him stay in this long.
Yeah, like you really should be taking out the only people that you feel like have the best chance to beat you in competitions. That's who you should be getting out at this point with this few people left in the game. So I really don't get it. Like
Keanu's not a great strategist. Again, like the edit is doing a disservice because his reads on everything happening socially, strategically, whatever, have been god awful all season. This man does not understand the position that he's in and the position that everybody else is in and where the votes are going to fall. Like he just doesn't get it. However, he has won so many competitions. He has saved himself so many times. If any of these people who are equally bad strategists are sitting next to him in the end, they are not winning the season. This is literally the one opportunity that you had to get Keanu out of here, and you're just gonna let it happen.
Yeah, especially because like Keanu's had the best like spread of wins too. Like he's won blockbusters, he's won vetoes, he's won an HOH. It feels like Vince has mostly won HOHs, right? Kelly's mostly won blockbusters. Morgan's pretty much only won vetoes. It's like everybody else has won.
No, come back.
Keanu.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I feel like Keanu has like the best overall resume competition-wise. So,
and like it was to the point where
it really is crazy.
I'm not. I do think that Keanu at this point would be the most deserving winner. I don't particularly want him to win, but like he's all I really feel like can vote for at this point. But like it got to the point where in the double, I was actively rooting for him to win the veto because I was like, nah, you guys don't get to get him out now. You had the opportunity, you chose not to take it. Now the chips fall where they're gonna fall. Like I don't want you guys to even have the opportunity to do it again because you were dumb, and I want you to feel that you were dumb.
Right. Do you think that like as of now, like there definitely is a world where I feel like the first three people in the jury right now between Rachel, Will, and Kelly, if Keanu's in those two final chairs, like regardless of who he's against, I could see him getting all three of those votes.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, right?
That's what I don't really see a situation in which Keanu sits next to anybody and loses.
Yeah. Oof. Well, man, I guess we'll see. But so yes, Kelly was the first evicted house guest of the night. So that meant that Kyle finally has taken his second hit.
Mm-hmm.
He's not here to talk about it, but he's lost his last two draft picks too. Adrian and Kelly. He still has
Kyle's
his top
team
three.
has been doing great this season. That's really crazy.
Yeah. By the time we get to the end of the stream, we'll be talking about how there's 5 people left and Kyle still has 3 of them.
That's
so
bananas.
Yeah. So Kyle is doing very well in the draft currently. But let's move into our second eviction now. And we'll get through this quicker, I think, because there's not so much to talk about in terms of like the strat chat and all the secret conversations. This is just straight up like comp.
There certainly isn't.
Yeah. So we had the HOH comp was this wretched reactor, it was called. And the house guests had to roll orbs into a reactor. The first person to roll 5 orbs onto their reactor wins. And Morgan wins this HOH. And like, I was freaking out a little bit here because part of me was like, God, like I would love for Morgan to win the HOH so that I know she's safe. And coming out of the double eviction, I know I still have one person. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I want her to win this because if she wins it, then she can't win the next one. And that one might be more important. I don't know. So like, I was nervous. Yeah.
What's so funny is by the time this night is over, Vince is literally all I have left. And I was actively rooting for literally anybody other than Morgan to win this because I wanted Vince to go home second in the double. I was like, get him out of here. I can't keep doing this with him. Get him out.
There was a part of me that felt like I would have loved for Morgan to just put up Lauren and Vince.
That never would have happened. I would have lived for it though.
Right? I'd be like, listen, this is clearly Morgan drawing a line in the sand. Like, I'm breaking you two up.
I really wanted Lauren to win the HOH and get Vince out of here. I wanted it so badly.
Yeah. But so Morgan's nominations, we're down to 2 now nominations, not 3 anymore. And Morgan's nominations end up being Keanu and Lauren.
This pissed me off too, because, double evictions happen very quickly. There's not really a lot of time to kind of like go through what's going to happen. So you would assume that people are scrambling. And we see Morgan win the HOH and we cut to commercial. The commercial break is about what? A minute and a half long, maybe, right. Give or take. And then we come back from commercial and everyone's just like vibing in the kitchen, having a little hangout. And I was like, is nobody during the double eviction campaigning to the HOH? Like, we have a minute and you're spending it just hanging out in the kitchen being like, oh yeah, let's talk competition. Oh, I'm gonna get some juice. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hello? You're playing a game. Someone is going home in 15 minutes. Is nobody campaigning to her? Like, what are we doing?
This is the weirdest cast I feel like I've ever seen in my life.
They're driving me crazy. It makes me so mad.
I just don't know how they found all of these people and put them in one house together.
Literally like, the dumbest cast of people I've ever seen. None of them know what is happening at any point.
Yeah. God. But so we went to the veto comp. Obviously, there's only 6 players left, so everybody competed. And this competition was called Master Find. And in this one, the players had to look at 7 images that were split into 3 sort of pieces here. A, B, and C, and they had to find which part of the image, either A, B, or C, that the mastermind was sort of hidden in. I kind of thought this was a lame double eviction veto comp. Personally, I know like they're just doing things for speed, but I feel like we've seen much better competitions than this.
I mean, again, as usual, I also won the veto. I'm very good at these. I'm not meaning to brag, but
Morgan and Keanu ended up tied at the end of all these questions with 7 points, but Keanu won tiebreaker, which meant he won the power of veto to save himself from the block. I saw some people on like Twitter and stuff saying that they thought that Morgan was like throwing this veto so that she didn't have to make any sort of decisions.
I wouldn't be surprised. Her answer was shockingly low, and then even I think we saw. Yeah. I don't remember if it was while the credits were rolling, but there was a conversation between her and Ashley was being like, "I think it's good that you didn't win it, so you don't really have any blood on your hands. Like you didn't have to make any decision."
Yeah, it was weird to me because like, people were saying like, "Oh, like well, why would she do so well in the competition but throw it?" And people were responding, and this made sense to me that like, oh, she's trying to, she's trying to like throw Vince off and make it more believable that she was trying to win, so that Vince isn't mad at her for Lauren leaving. But I feel like you could. That's a big risk to get all 7 questions correct. Yeah. In the hope that someone will tie you, so that you can then throw a tiebreaker. Like, I feel like you can
John,
easily get.
I think we've established that brains are not this cast's strong suit. So if you're looking for a logical decision, you're not going to find one.
I know, you're right. You are, but Morgan's supposed to be a gamer. So like, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, so is Keanu. They're both dumb.
Yeah, maybe. I honestly have to go find the channel. Like, the worst gamers ever. But yeah, so obviously we had our veto meeting. Keanu uses the veto on himself. Morgan replaces Keanu with Ava. I secretly hoped it was Vince, but
I would have lived.
Yeah. And our second eviction of the night, Vince voted for Ava to be evicted. Ashley voted for Lauren to be evicted. Keanu voted for Lauren to be evicted. So Lauren was sent out of the house by a vote of 2-1, which meant that Gina has taken her 4th hit of the season, just like I did weeks ago. Vince is your last remaining player.
It's me and Vince out here against the world.
Yep. Morgan is my sole remaining player. And Kyle's still sitting pretty with his 3 contenders here.
And again, his
Ashley,
top 3
Ava.
is crazy.
I know. It really is crazy. So we've gotten to our top 5. Which consists of Morgan, Ashley, Ava, Keanu, and Vince. And it's kind of crazy to me, the fact that like we had so many more women in the house compared to men at one point, and now it's just a 3-2 split. And like, yeah. I don't know. Especially because Will's not there anymore. Like if there's still a guy in that house, it should have been Will. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a possibility tonight. If they had gotten Keanu out the first time, Vince would have been the sole remaining man left in that house.
Could you imagine? We also found out that apparently James Gunn is the mystery guest on BB Unlocked this week. Whatever. That whole show sucks. But anyway,
I don't plan to now. Sorry about it.
Yeah, let's get into Julie Judgment, eh?
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Oh Julie, what are we wearing this week?
And so let's pull up her outfit for the night. Here it is. I can tell you Kyle's not with us, but he did share his answer with me, and Kyle gives this week's outfit a tepid.
A tepid.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
You go first. I haven't decided yet.
I'm going to tell you, I agree with Kyle. I think that this is a tepid. This is definitely not the worst outfit of the season.
Oh. No.
But and she looked good. She looked cute. But, you know, we're getting down to our top 5. It's a double eviction episode, and you could have done better than this. like this is an outfit that if you replaced in a different week, when she hadn't worn all that denim, what was that, a week or two ago, if this was the outfit instead, I might have given it a hot. But for the importance of this episode,
on double
you do
eviction
better.
night, no less.
Yeah, you got to do better than this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on the warmer side of tepid for me, but unfortunately, I do think I have to skew tepid as well.
Yeah, well, there you go. Double eviction night, 3 tepids.
Oh, Julie, I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, do you have any other thoughts? I feel like we've gone through both episodes. Did I miss anything? Any of my notes?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all right, we're down to the pointy end here. We got five house guests left. Honestly, my biggest thing right now is that I just wish that we were going into a final 5 that was going to be a normal final 5. I feel like this, because we still have this whole mastermind mayhem thing going on, right? The mastermind's apparently going to have a big role in what's happening next or whatever, right? Didn't we see that?
Even just like the schedule feels so, like we're having an eviction on Wednesday, and then it's like the equivalent of like a double eviction type format on Thursday. Like, are they just playing a full round in that hour on Thursday? Is that what's happening?
I wish I could tell you.
And like, is Wednesday a live eviction, or is that going to be like something that happens on Monday, and then the rest of I'm confused as to what the format for this week is.
Yeah, so am I. But I guess we'll see. I can't, because we've had 2 weeks in a row now with sort of an abnormal schedule, right? We had the 1 week where there was no Sunday episode, and we had a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, I mean, at the end of the season, we always get pushed out of the way for other shit, like
football and the Emmys.
Was it last season or 2 seasons ago that our finale got pushed for the second episode of Survivor? Like they stopped caring about Big Brother once again.
Yeah. The Big Brother finale had to be pushed for the second episode of a Survivor season, and then we also get pushed so that they can play like a rerun of 60 Minutes. So Floppy Disk Channel here is asking about what about Morgan's Zing bit, and we talked about it earlier in the stream. So we're not going to get into it again, but do go back and listen to our thoughts on that. Sweet Willie P? Hello, Sweet Willie P. Sweet Willie P hates the disrespect they showed BB, and we could not agree more. It's literally ridiculous. Rude. It's ridiculous. This is supposed to be like the bread and butter for CBS, so we can push for reruns and like mid-season episodes of other shows. I forgot about the
rerun of 60 Minutes. That was insane.
Yeah. So.
Oh God.
Yeah. Can't agree more. Next time that we're streaming, we should have our pal Kyle back, who's living his best life with Azza and co. I think Derek F is there as well. Who knows what other special guests are in Philly right now hanging out. But Kyle should be back next time, so we can get all of his thoughts on the double eviction, and as well as get into next week. But I think that's all I got, right? You have anything else for the benefit of the community before we get out of here?
That's all I got. Oh, what a terrible time to be frozen.
We know for sure we'll be back now. Am I back?
You're back.
Am I back? I'm back. All right. So then, okay. So now, hopefully before I freeze again, we will be back. Oh, Floppy Disk Channel asked about Amazing Race coverage. It's all Big Brother people, so I'm sure we'll be talking about it, right?
Yeah, we haven't solidified anything, but I think it's safe to say.
We don't know all the details for sure yet, but we will definitely be talking about Amazing Race Big Brother edition. So, but thank you so much for hanging out tonight, everybody. We will be back next week for sure on Thursday. Who knows? Maybe we'll even drop in on a Monday if everybody's free. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. And have a great night.
Bye.